What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
All right, good morning. It is the Jaguar Journal. Hope everybody out there having a great morning. 7 o'clock a.m. on a Saturday. We're getting things rocking and rolling. Happy Mardi Gras to everybody. It's that time of the year. Make sure, call an Uber, okay? If you know you done had too much, get your Uber. Don't try to force it. Call a friend. But good to have everybody out there. Good morning, everybody. Listen on 107.3 FM here in the Baton Rouge capital city area. I know people are getting up, getting the day started. And good morning to everybody watching across the country. On our YouTube channel, our Facebook Live. Be sure to go hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and be sure to like and follow on our Facebook. Glad to have you guys with us. And as we're starting the show off this morning, we're going to...
Hey, y'all.
As y'all can hear, we have special guests here in the studio because what we're going to do, listen, I had an opportunity to go over to Southern Lab, I think a couple years ago, and work on a film with them because Southern Lab was celebrating history. And what I realized was how proud, as they call what is the Lab fam?
The Lab.
The Lab,
Yes.
how proud they are about their storied history and all these championships. And so where I come from, my high school has a lot of championships, one of the winningest high school programs in the country. And so at first, I didn't want to give Southern Lab its credit because I was looking around and it was like, it's 1A. And I'm like, y'all playing homeschool kids.
Oh, wow.
But I found I had a newfound respect. So listen, the disrespect is not there anymore because I got a chance to be around people, talk to former athletes, teachers, coaches, and I got a newfound respect of why Southern Lab is proud, the history that it has, the championships that it's won, and so many great alums that have come through that program. And so it gave me a newfound respect for it, and I had to understand. I got a chance to go to the parade. It was like the SU Lab homecoming. I saw everything from a different perspective instead of from the Southern perspective saying, look at that school over there. I don't know much about it. So for me and for you guys today, you're going to get a history lesson because today we're going to talk about Southern University Laboratory School's track history, because there's some rich history behind this track program. And I have some young ladies here in the studio today. Everybody from left to right, begin to introduce yourself. Let us know who you are.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Cassie Cole. I am a graduate of the Southern Lab and the Southern University.
Yes, good morning. My name is Trudy Bim Howard. I'm a graduate of Southern Lab as well as the Southern University.
Bring it over there. There you go.
My name is Tia Lee Williams. I am a graduate of Southern University Laboratory School. Unfortunately, I am not a graduate of Southern, but I am a graduate of Louisiana Tech University.
See what I told her before the show? You could have left that out. She could have just said Southern Lab and went on about the day, and we would have understood. But, nonetheless, you guys were a part of a rich history at Southern Lab, and it still continues to this day of talking about winning championships. I was just paying attention to the girls basketball team. They beating people like by 100. Them homeschool teams. But I told you I got a newfound respect. I'm gonna let it go.
We're gonna clear that up.
Yeah, clear it up for us
Yeah.
today. But nonetheless, let's talk about just real quick. Got about 3 minutes before we go to break. Just let's start with Southern Laboratory, just the school itself, and what creates the pride and the tradition of that school to anybody who attended.
I would say, Southern Lab, when we first entered Southern Lab, we was like, what are we getting ourselves into?
Mm-hmm.
It was a decision that our parents and our summer coaches decided that all the ladies should stick together. And so we attended Southern. We found that Southern Lab had a rich history, a legacy, legends that were that came out of Southern Lab. And we were so fortunate enough to be able to be a part of that history. Cassie and I, we ran track together in middle school, and Tia, we ran in middle school. And then from there, we went to KY, which is keeping young, which we were under some great coaches, some great athletes that were way before us. Some of the greats, Warwick Dunn, Travis Minor,
yes,
and some others, and we were fortunate, and we glad we had that opportunity, I would say. So
and yeah, Southern Lab was like a family. I mean, you're there from kindergarten to 12th,
right,
12th grade. So
That's
it was
right.
like a family. And when we got there, we were just embraced because we all came at the same
at
time.
the same time.
And once we got there, we were all embraced and loved, just like we've been there all our life.
That's right.
So it was just I wouldn't even say we were there for school. It was just more like almost, I want to say, a family reunion every day, because we had fun every day, and we still learned, did our work. Yes, even from the teachers. From the principal, from the teachers to the cafeteria worker. Miss Nixon used to cook the food for us. I mean, it was just we could go on and on. Oh, fried chicken, red beans, and
fried fish.
Yes.
Everything was good.
Everything.
Even if it was a burger.
Yeah, it was homemade.
It was good.
Y'all had those square pieces, the rectangle.
Oh no,
pieces?
we had the.
We
ate good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we ate good.
I had square pieces.
Oh no, we didn't have that.
And some corn or something
Even
on
a
the side.
hot dog was good.
Yeah, it was. Everything was made with love.
Yeah. It was very, very family oriented.
Give me some pillars of education for Southern Lab for you guys. Just, for me growing up, there's certain teachers who I can't forget. And I'm talking about K through all the way 12th grade. But, that were pivotal, that you believe in you guys' lives at Southern Lab. And just people that when you saw them, they meant something to the school and to the community.
If you say English, we'd probably say it together.
Well, because Southern Lab was a laboratory school, and we were on the campus of the Southern University, a lot of our teachers were professors at Southern University.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have some of those one-of-a-kind teachers that you'll never forget.
Yep.
Our English teacher, Miss Monoghan. Yeah, Miss Monoghan was phenomenal in English. Yeah. She did not play. Then we had Miss Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Henderson, that was our math teacher. I can remember her because I was put in the corner.
Miss Harris. Miss Harris did not play. She was really your mom.
Oh
on
yeah.
campus. I remember
right?
one time. Yes. Mm-hmm. I remember one time in class, they were cutting up in my class, 97. We were really bad. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They were really outgoing, had the most athletes in that class, real good. And we were real close, and we were cutting up, and next thing you know, the eraser came flying across the room.
Oh yeah, that's mother.
She would throw the eraser at you. So the teachers, it just, oh man, it's like it was your parent. They didn't even have to call home. They got you right.
That's right.
But it helped develop us for where we are now. They need to bring that back.
Some of that old school. All right, let's get ready to take a break. We're going to continue the conversation. We're going to be talking about Southern University Laboratory School, its rich history with its championships, and in particular, we're talking track championships today, as these young ladies are going to tell us this history of how they went undefeated from 19 what to 19 what. Now, we're going to find out about it. Y'all just stay tuned. So we'll be back. You guys hold on. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help. Only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking in the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown!
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8, the deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. Time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard, 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there listening around the Baton Rouge capital city area on 107.3 FM. It is Mardi Gras, so I know people are getting ready. Some people just getting in. I know people were out at the Zulu Ball last night down in New Orleans. Even though the night just ended, the day has just started. So, hey, good morning to you. I know you about to go get some rest. For others, they're just getting up because guess what? You got Spanish Town Parade here in Baton Rouge today. You got a plethora of parades down in New Orleans and all across South Louisiana. And then you got all the wannabes everywhere else across the country today who want to throw their wannabe Mardi Gras parades. But no, it ain't nothing like South Louisiana. Good morning to everybody watching on our YouTube and Facebook Live as well. Glad to have you guys with us as we're talking Southern Laboratory High School today. Well, not even just a high school, the whole school within itself, because it's K through 12. And for a lot of us who come from out of town and we go to Southern University, you see the school over to the side. You ask the questions, well, what is that? They say, well, that's the feeder school. That's Southern Lab. But as I see, everybody didn't get fed into the school with Louisiana Tech, because, I mean, I had to ask the question, too, because I thought we were all Southern Day. But nonetheless, You grew up going to Jaguar sports.
Yes,
Okay, that's all I know. So let's get started. Talk about, and we can start with anybody as we talk about the track program. Let's talk about the years. Paint the picture for everybody. What years are we talking about today so everybody can get the picture before we dive deep into it? Somebody, come on.
Okay. So myself and Trudy, we started in 93. So we went from 93 to 96.
Okay. And what year? Come on to that mic.
Through 97.
97. What year you started?
93, 92.
Okay. So that's to paint the picture for everybody. We're talking 93, 92 to 96 and 97. All right. Now I'm going back into the 90s.
Okay.
Give me a picture of, I'm at another school, Southern Labs track team shows up. Y'all get off the bus or the van, which I was on back then. Y'all was on the van or the bus?
Vans. Yeah, vans.
Well, it depends. On the charter bus.
On the charter bus.
I was about to say, who drove the van? What coach drove the van?
Oh, Coach Marshall. Rebecca Marshall.
All right.
Yes.
Rebecca Marshall. Who is Rebecca Marshall?
Oh, that's the GOAT. That was the coach. She was the coach coach of the year every year.
Okay.
Yes, Rebecca Marshall.
That's who pushed you guys.
That's who pushed us. That was our coach.
Behind the greatness.
That's it.
All right.
Yes.
Coach Marshall pull up. She put that van in park. She turn around. She look at y'all. What she saying?
Let's go. It's time to go. Get your stuff.
Listen, most of the time she had already told us what to do.
Yeah.
What she said.
And we saying it nice now.
A few words.
Yeah.
She was one of few words. She just put that van in park and looked back there and then.
Come on, Trudy. Trudy got what you got.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you the truth.
Tell the truth. That's what the years have passed.
You know how your mom give you that look while you're in the store. You better not ask for anything. Coach turned around and gave us that look. We already knew. We already knew. She was the mother. She was the coach. We didn't have to get out of line because we knew we was gonna get in trouble the next day at practice. So she had us in line.
And I'm gonna keep that what happens at practice because I know it got rough at practice.
Oh yes. Yes.
All right, so you guys get started. What started this dominance? So once you guys did that first track meet and then realized we own to something, give me the beginning and we'll work our way through it. The first track meet that was won that you guys were a part of, and it's like, this is special.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe our first meet. I just remember New Orleans. I don't know, was it New Orleans or maybe it might have been? Yeah, I think it was New Orleans when we first really thought about. A
lot of our competition was from
New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So when we went, I'm trying to picture. It's been years, but I'm picturing that Tag Garmin Stadium and. We out there and we are fresh. We're like, what's it's all these teams and we're like, what's going on? And I think I remember being nervous, but once we hit that track and we left them by 50 yards, we was like, oh, we got something out here. Yeah, it was the relay. It started off with the 4x2 relay. That's exactly what it was. Now, see, I kicked it off with the field event.
Okay.
I was the field person, so I did the long jump, the triple jump, and the high jump. And the field starts the meet. So going into the races, I would already have. I don't want to brag.
You go ahead.
You can.
I already had 30 points going into the running event because like I said, long jump, triple jump, and high jump. So going in, and of course we had other females, and I can't remember who did the shot put, but I would bring in the points. So going into the running events, we were already ahead of the meet. So we were up by 20 points going into the running. And once the 4x2, once they started with the 4x2 and Trudy with the hurdles, it's just.
Talk to me about them hurdles, Trudy. Talk to me about them hurdles.
Oh, wow. The hurdles. Well, very challenging. I started running the hurdles when I was in KY.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the junior, all of us went to the Junior Olympics. Let's start there. That's how it actually started was with KY. I saw one of female athletes running the hurdles. And actually, I saw this at Southern University. Her name was Alethea Robinson. Hey, Alethea. And Miss Constance. I used to watch them run hurdles. Yeah. And I've always told my mom, I said, I want to try that. So, anywho, I had opportunity to try that. And it was my thing. I don't know how in the world you run fast and go over an obstacle and continue to run. But once you're in that zone, it just flows. You don't see anybody. But hurdles was my my race. I love the hurdles. Of course, I love joining the sprints with my fellow teammates, the relays, and that's one thing that we conquered was the relays. Once we stepped out of the bus with our attire on, our hair done, because we had to get our hair done, y'all.
But y'all had,
Yes.
I don't know back then, they got the lashes
Cassie
now.
reminded me.
Y'all had the lashes back then?
No.
Oh, okay. The wings on the eyes?
No, we didn't have that.
All
We didn't have that. But once we stepped off that bus and walked into the building, when I say building, that was indoor, because indoor kind of like started everything off for our track season. And that was at LSU. What's the name of this field? I don't know. I forgot the name of the
we
field.
just know it was a track.
And so all the looks. We had the stairs. We had the looks. They're here. Now, I mean, here we are.
Are y'all turning heads?
Yeah. We were turning heads. We were turning heads. Now, as freshmen, we didn't know what we was getting ourselves into. But once we step on the track, we saw our competitors, in which they just mentioned it was New Orleans. New Orleans ladies, the track team, Carver High School.
They wasn't turning heads?
They were turning heads.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Most definitely. I'm going to give them their props. We're going to give them their props.
They were turning heads.
That was
we was just turning more.
Now tell me, what was you doing out there?
I ran the relays, and I ran the 100 and the 400.
Okay.
400 was pretty much my race. It's crazy that was the main race, but the record is in the 100.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, the record is in the 100 that it stood the longest. But yeah, all of the relays. Well, I didn't run the 4x1 because the 4x1 was right before the 400 or something like that. And so I didn't run that, but I ran the 4x2 and the 4x4, the 100 and the 400. Now, let me say something about Trudy about these hurdles. She's being very modest right now. Trudy was the absolute best. Me and Coach Tracy was just talking about her. Tracy Landry, who coached us in middle school. We were just talking about her. Trudy was the absolute prettiest hurdle runner.
Really?
Yes.
Look,
gorgeous.
Get the blushing over
I'm
there.
telling you. When I tell you, smooth.
Yeah.
I don't ever, if she ever hit a hurdle or fell, I don't ever remember it.
Did that happen, Trudy?
I don't think she ever.
I can say 2 times I fell, and one time was at I can remember because they may not remember because they teased me. It was at Louisiana Lafayette, USL at the time. And that was probably my 3rd time running the outdoor hurdles. And I fell one time and I scarred the left side of my behind. And I was called Scar Booty for a while.
But
I learned my lesson. I
Yes.
learned my lesson. That was the wrap.
She was smooth. She was smooth. The absolute best hurdler I've ever seen.
Let me add that in. She was. And I didn't do hurdles in high school, but when I got to college, watching her, that's when I started doing hurdles. Watching her made me into a hurdler in college, watching her. So yeah. My girl did her thing.
Before we go to break, give me y'all best coach impression. I'm sure you got an impression of your coach or something. She said a speech, whatever she normally said. And give me y'all still scared to this day?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
She was like Joe Jackson, wasn't she?
She didn't say much.
She did not play.
She didn't say much.
She didn't have many words.
She didn't have many words. It was her presence.
Yeah.
Yes. Her demeanor is just, you knew not to play with her.
Yeah.
You
It was
know?
just a given. Our
Wasn't no
parents didn't have to
laughing
worry.
going-
No. Our parents didn't have to worry about anything because they knew Coach Marshall had us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marshall walk in and get quiet.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Most definitely.
Y'all tighten up. Y'all straighten up.
Oh,
yes.
yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yes.
Oh
Most
yes.
Definitely.
Yes. You're gonna run. If not,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to run.
Was y'all cussing back then?
Not to her.
What y'all
Not
laughing
to her.
about? You know how you cuss? You said there's somebody walking, you act like you a saint.
Look, I do have we were a little sneaky, but sometimes when she always found out
Yes.
what we did.
Get somewhere now. There
She
you go.
always found out. I remember one time I said something. We were in Ryan's. Do y'all remember Ryan's buffet?
Oh,
that
yeah.
we always
Buffet,
eat at
yeah.
Ryan's buffet. And she called me out at the table. I was so embarrassed, but she said, Cassie, I heard I called somebody a poo-poo head.
Oh yeah.
You remember that? We were young.
That's
We were
old
young.
school.
I called somebody a poo-poo head, and it got back to her. And she fussed at me, but from then on, she kind of made it a joke, and she was like, "Y'all can't hide nothing from me. It always gets back to me."
Yeah.
And I learned my lesson that day in Ryan's.
That's when they say I got eyes
buffet.
behind the
Yes.
back of my head. Yeah.
Yes.
I got ears everywhere.
Yeah.
That day, I knew Coach Marshall knew everything.
Yeah.
We did. We
Yeah.
could not get nothing by her
Yeah.
at all. Not even in the hotel room. We were
Yeah.
there.
Cross country.
Everything. She had our eyes on us.
Good.
Yes.
Keep y'all out of trouble. You know,
Indeed.
young ladies, you get to moving around now. Y'all get. I want you to feel scared every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Success. That's what you got out of it. So let's get ready to take a break. When we come back on this side, we'll continue the conversation. Now we're going to get into the dynasty because that's what we're calling this, right?
Yeah.
It's a dynasty at Southern University Laboratory School in the 90s of track. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
Best, and they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
Really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast, and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss.
Back, it is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday morning, getting it rocking and rolling. We're talking Southern Lab track. All right. As we kind of got into Coach Marshall, we're talking about how you guys were a little mischievous being young. But that's part of the process. As you get older, you grow into maturity, you live, you learn, and then you find out that you can't play with everybody. Clearly, Coach Marshall was somebody you couldn't play with, but somebody has to draw the line. Somebody has to instill structure and discipline. And once you get that and you begin to listen, you realize that culture is being created. When that culture is being created, you realize, okay, we could be on to something, because what we find out with young people, you have a lot of potential. Older people can see the potential, but we often don't know how to pull that potential out of us. We don't know how to go the extra mile. We like to cut corners. We like to do it the easy way. What you was telling me, you guys at track practice, You running, coach asking, how many laps? You yell 7.
Yeah.
You really on 4. Coach, no, you trying to cut corners, add 2, 3 more to it. But we don't realize in the process, we just thinking they picking on us. You making us do this, you making us do that. But at the end of the day, success comes out of hard work. The hard work was instilled in you guys. And still to this day, just listen to how you guys talk about Coach Marshall. Those are the long-lasting effects of when you have great educators and great leaders who go into our communities and they see young people and they say, you know what, you got potential. If you listen to me, and I know it's hard in the beginning, but if you buy into what I'm selling, the benefit at the end of the day, the reward will be so great, and it'll be memories that you'll have for a lifetime, which here we are years later, those memories still last with you guys. All right, let's talk about the dynasty. After year 1, what all did y'all rack up? And when the year was over and you looked at the trophy case, when you looked at the medals around the neck, when you looked at, we got a ring, what all was racked up in year 1?
I would say, so just because we were in class 1A, we ran against all the classes and we dominated all the classes. Let's put that on the record.
That's for Perry, okay?
They
talking to me,
Perry.
so okay. I told you I got a newfound respect, so I'm sorry. They wasn't running against the homeschool kids.
Yeah,
okay?
So we traveled. We were able to travel. We was fortunate to travel. Our parents pitched in to help us travel. I can just say that when we traveled to Texas, we went to the TSU relays, all the collegiate relay events that we went to, and we dominated. We dominated all the relays, all the field events, and people was trying to figure out who are these ladies. And Coach Marshall used to tell us, you know, you make sure that you act like a lady, and let's get on the track and let's run. And she always instilled that in us. Discipline came from our KY coaches, and it just flowed over into our high school years. So after, Texas, we came back home and we dominated home. We dominated the indoor track. We won all the championships for the indoor. Even when we traveled to McNeese, we conquered that. Then outdoor came. That was the event. Outdoor. All the relays that we went to, far as Catholic high school, had their relay events. We have records there. We have records everywhere we place our track shoe at. We
sound like y'all kind of, when it got to a point when y'all walked in, it was just swag, like, hey,
it was.
Y'all know who we are.
But you know what? One thing that, going back to Miss Marshall, one thing that she did, she kept us humble.
Oh yes.
Like, I don't think anybody, all of the greatness, all of the records, all of that, I don't think anybody ever got the big head. So where it was like
the arrogance.
The arrogance.
Yes. I don't, it was all, we were always humbled. Like, it was always told us, they always coming for y'all.
That's right.
So you got to always be ready, but you can never take it for granted. Like, oh, we just going to just sweep this and come, and oh, we here. No.
You'll get content.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes. She put that in us. Like, no, stay humble, win, yes, but do it with class.
Class, that's right.
And that's what she put in us.
I'm gonna do it like this. Let's start from left to right. And for the people out there, say your name and what record she holds.
Okay. Cassie Jackson then.
That's championship
That's
Jackson.
championship Jackson.
Okay.
So I have the long jump. I was the state champion in long jump. My furthest then was 18.2 back then. Triple jump, 35, I think it was 35, 4, 36, something like that. In high jump, my high jump was up and down. So my highest was like 5'1". My highest was 5'1", and I was the first leg on the 4x1. And our time in the 4x1, it was 40. Was it? I don't remember the time, but we still have the record. We still have the record. So if you go to the state meet and go on class 1A, you'll see Southern Lab and you'll see our time, but I don't remember the time. So, but we still have the record till this day in the 4x1.
Say your name. What's your records? Okay. Come on, let the
All
people
right.
know.
Trudy Bim Howard now.
But BIM championship
yeah,
BIM.
championship
All
BIM.
right.
Yes, BIM, yes. So I was a hurdler. So gosh, my first championship for indoor was actually my sophomore year. My freshman, I was just getting into it. So I have indoor championships in the hurdles, outdoor the hurdles. I actually have a record at the outdoor championship for high school at LSU. Um, let's see. I was named the Gatorade Circle Around Athlete of the Year. We're all Americans. We need to add that because we
How
all
y'all
all
gonna hold
Americans.
that out?
Exactly.
All American, that's prestige. That's the
It
we're
really
talking about
is.
America.
Yes, yes. We're all Americans, and one thing they left out, we all Hall of Famers as well. So our championships, oh my gosh, oh God, I don't remember my times or anything like that, but
But
and
how many
I'm
records do you hold?
you know what, to be honest, Perry, I do not know. I was sent a Facebook screenshot of a record that I had that I never knew about. One of Coach Johnny Duncan, who's now the high school track and field coach at Glen Oaks. He ran for Southern University with Johnny Thomas, sent over a newspaper clipping, and I said, "Oh, that's my name." I didn't realize that I had this record. I said, "Wow, this is amazing." So it's a lot of records that we may not know of. We wasn't, I guess we didn't worry about any of that. But now that you look back, it's like, wow, I did that. Really?
Yeah. Because now, they do stadium records. My daughter ran, and so going to the track meets, you were here. I'm like, oh, really? You didn't know that it was a record then because nobody was really telling you like, oh, that's a record. Well, we wasn't listening. But they do stadium records, so we really don't know how many. But my record is
Say your name. Say your name.
My name is Tia Lee, married name Williams.
Championship Lee.
Championship Lee.
Okay, see,
Tia
that's
Lee.
what I'm going by.
Tia Lee. But the record for that is the 100 right now, and then the relays. But yeah, to this day. Yeah, but it's several that we just don't know, and just like Trudy, some other accomplishments that we had. We both were stars of stars in track.
Oh, that's right.
So it's kind of like they would take the greatest athletes in each sport for the area that covered the advocate, whatever the advocate covered. And we accomplished that, achieved that. So it's many you just don't remember,
They being humble.
Well, go ahead, tell it like it is.
They being humble. How much time?
We got about 3 minutes.
Okay. They being humble. That is the number one runner in the state of Louisiana in the 400 and the 100. They being humble.
Okay.
They being humble. Top number one hurdler. And I'm just saying these things because they did say we were humble. We were just out there running. We were just having fun.
It was the moment.
It was the moment. But you're looking at people that know us to this day to be the GOAT of the 400 in the hurdles, in the 100, in the relays. They're being humble, but I have to boost my sisters up because
GOAT, that's a big term. It's
they did that.
Days, but hey, just to say the GOAT.
That's it. They did their thing, and I know some of our coaches are listening now. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you guys. But these ladies, as we're a team, but these ladies basically set the tone for athletes now. And I'm going to put it out there for the athletes now. They set the tone because if your name is still popping up at the state meet, that says a lot. That says a lot till this day. You still see Tia Lee, 400, Trudy Bim, 100-meter hurdles. And I may pop up every now and then.
Come on now.
Cassie Jackson for the long jump. It's just, it's when you do good, it's okay to celebrate it.
Yeah.
It's okay to celebrate it. And that's why I wanted to bring these ladies back because I was here last time by myself. And just, to let the world know we back then we were something. We were something. And
what was the hairdo?
We had the French.
We had
the finger waves with the French rolls and the crimp hair. Yeah, that's what we had.
The style was
Yeah, and we had the ponytail. We had the Giddy Girl ponytail.
Sure did.
The Giddy Girl ponytail. Yes. Yes. Oh, in the outfits, yes, we had the outfits. Yeah, we had the outfits,
the ribbons,
and the ribbons,
we all had the ribbons in our
we
head.
had our nails done, and it was kind of like a flojo.
Yeah,
that's what we were kind of like a flojo style.
Yes.
I
My
like
mom
that.
used to be like, make
The
sure you
giddy
look
girl.
like a girl.
Yes,
make sure you look like girls. Y'all don't have to look like boys.
Look
Y'all
like-
athletes but look like girls.
Yes, right.
All right, well, let's get ready to take a break, everybody. We'll continue the conversation. You guys stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500 plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again, throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
The receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet. And Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back.
All right, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Saturday, as we get things rocking and rolling. Mike, we good with all our sound? We all right? Everybody listening? All right, look, as we keep things going, glad to have you guys with this Talking Southern University Lab. We're talking about track program. We're talking about dominance. Now, the word GOAT has been used in the studio today. Multiple. So, you know, when we talking that type of status, we talking monumental. We talking about records still holding to this day. And y'all need to go home when y'all leave here. Make y'all husbands. See, not y'all. Make your husbands go do their research and say, go find all my championships and go find all of my records and report back to me. I see, look, y'all can't wait to go back.
Assignment.
Yeah, that's an assignment. That's all my records, because I don't know, you know, so many of y'all lose track. But let me ask you guys, and you go around, although you guys had dominance and you went around the region and dominated All-American. Listen, don't get any better than All-American. What, did you ever go anywhere and you saw somebody and was like, damn, like, who is that? Because people would say that about you guys, but I want to know from you guys, was it somebody you looked, you was like, man, who is that?
Yates track team in Texas, Houston, Texas.
Jack Yates.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. That's all I remember. Yeah, Yates. They were
just the whole track team.
Yeah, they were a team. Yeah, they were a team. They ain't beat us, but I mean,
they was close enough. They was
yeah. That was one team that we that I remember when we walked on the track. I got a little nervous, even with me doing the field. I got a little nervous when I would see Yates track team from Houston, Texas. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I would say, and I know I'm gonna tell her to go and listen. April Sam's.
Mm-hmm.
April was always my competition. April and I used to battle. Tia used to tell, just said I used to fly across the hurdles, but she was great. She went to Mandeville High School. Shout out to April, not April Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
He's married to.
But she was she didn't win no championship, did she? If you was in it. I was gonna give her a championship, but no, you know what? I'm talking to a goat.
For her class, she's a goat as well.
Okay,
I will give her that. She's a goat as well. She won in her class. So once I saw her, I used to enjoy watching her run as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great to see other athletes, their style of running.
Yeah. Now for me, it's very unique because the person is Myra Combs.
Yeah.
We battled.
Mm-hmm.
But then she ended up coming on our team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's crazy, but that was weird. It was a weird feeling for me because I've always, it was like she was my competitor, and now we're on the same team. It's like, we battled. But Myra Combs would have been my main competitor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you guys, when it came to an end, you got to graduate. Walk across the stage, realized after that last meet, it was over. What was that like to realize? But you guys went on to college together, but just knowing that Southern Lab time was over, there had to be some type of feeling. Can you remember back and see that? Can you talk to me?
I do. I remember I cried our last meet. We all cried.
Y'all huddled up.
Yeah, we huddled. Yeah, this last state meet at LSU.
With the Get It Girl.
Yeah, I had done, I think I had a French roll that last year. I think I had a French roll.
Uh-huh.
And we cried and hugged. But in the back of our mind, we knew we were going to be together going into college. So we, it was bittersweet, but I do remember crying because that was it with Coach Marshall. She was letting us into the air, letting us go.
Went across the street,
we did, but it's different. But it's right. We did go across the street, but it's we were leaving the lab as a kid and going to be a Jaguar. And it was bittersweet because we were a family, and we were a family at Southern too, but it was different. We were.
And then they were leaving us.
Yeah.
Like we still had, we didn't all graduate at the same time.
Right.
So
right. She was still there.
It wasn't the same. It was not the same.
It wasn't the same.
When you have been together for so long, like, years, and then half of them are leaving, well,
let me ask, because you did go across the street, did you find yourself at Southern Lab at any time?
Oh, all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
because we went to Southern University, we practiced there. Southern Lab practiced there. We were very fortunate that Southern Lab athletes practiced at Southern University.
Mm-hmm.
So we was able to see the collegiate athletes. We was able to see Johnny Thomas coaching. So we were able to see our little sisters because we call each other sisters. Yeah, we will always be sisters.
But it's different. For me, Summer brought me the stick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
For years. And when we went to college, we were so in sync until the coach was like, and I was like, look, just watch. Just sit back and watch. This girl, she's been bringing me the stick for years, So for her to be gone, now she's gone because they graduated together. It's like, golly, who is going to bring me this stick? And are they going to be like?
It's now on you. It's now carrying over to the next. You believe it to the next, and then You just kind of keep leaving it for the next person.
Yeah.
But you set the standard so high, y'all. I don't know.
I know.
It still was a void. It still was a void that was kind of like missing. That's all.
That's true.
All right, so let's start left to right. What everybody doing these days? What y'all up to now? As we look back, where we at in life these days?
Okay, so I am a dean of students at CSEL Middle School.
You got to tell me your name.
Cassie Cole, Cassie Jackson Cole, dean of students at CSEL Middle School, and I coached at Madison Prep on the track team and volleyball. But I am a retired coach. I've given up all my coaching duties to focus on my babies, my daughter and my son that are now playing sports. So I'm no longer coaching, but I do teach an aerobics class. So I am a personal trainer on the side. So I teach at Ignited Force, and I am a personal trainer. So I dean of students, personal trainer, and a 24/7 mother coach to my children.
What we doing these days?
Trudy Bim Howard. I've been married going 7 years in April. I know, right? I'm the chief administrative officer at the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging. We serve seniors, making sure they continue to keep their independence. I've been there for 11 years now. I'm not in the track and field world, but I was asked to be the Southern University Hall of Fame commissioner. So I get a little tap into some of the athletics and see what the Southern University teams are doing. So at one time I did coach. I coached for University of South Florida. I was actually training to do elite competition in Florida, and the coach asked me to join. And so I was able to join the women's track and field and coach the hurdles. And at that point I said, you know what, this is it. I just want to coach. And I just left the career alone. I truly do miss this. Reminiscing. Wow, it's amazing. I miss these ladies. We talk very often, but I think it's time for us to really just look back and see what we actually did.
Yeah, take the time.
Yeah.
What you doing these days?
So Tia Williams, Tia Lee Williams. Currently, I am the COO, the Chief Operating Officer at Thrive Academy. I've been there for coming on 5 years. No longer coaching. I've coached too, but just like Cassie, my kids with sports. So I'm not coaching, just being that mom, wife. My husband and myself, we pastor a church, so a lot of our energy is going towards the church as well. My hands are in a lot. I also have a janitorial company, so I'm owner of that. I also have a TV show. I still do my little thing on the side with
that. Ain't no little thing. I ain't gonna do that, but do my little thing. Like I do this show on, so I do my little show. No, doing your thing.
It's a lot of work, but the most prideful thing is just being the mother to two awesome kids. Both of them athletes. My daughter recently graduated from ULL. She ran track as well, and it's still talk about. Like now that she's done, people come back and like, your daughter was good, but you were great.
Yeah,
we didn't want to hurt her feelings. We didn't want to hurt her feelings. But and my son, he's an athlete as well. He graduates this year. He plays basketball, baseball, runs track. So pretty much my time now is just catering to them.
Well, ladies, I appreciate you guys for coming in, getting us a history, and being able to take that walk down memory lane. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope everybody out there have enjoyed it. Thank you, ladies, for coming in and talking to us about Southern University Laboratory School and about its rich history and its track program and its dominance in the 90s. And the program is still in good hands, and it still holds records with you guys' name on it. So thank you guys for coming in. And for everybody else out there, hey, we at the top of the hour. We'll come back on the other side. I want you to go get your coffee, run to the bathroom, do what you got to do, because we're going to keep things going. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be back. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Quarter, with Jackson State leading 10-3. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again, throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. And every time you think Southern struggles, they come back, they make a play. They've done it all year long. Kick is up. Kick is good. Second down and a yard to go. Again, they give it to Lewis. Lewis finds room. Lewis still on his feet. Lewis making a move to the outside. He's inside the 25, the 10, the 5. What a run by Ryan Lewis. 69-yard run for Ryan Lewis. And how about this? Kicks up, kicks good.
Halftime, George Johnson along with Charles Mann. Southern trailed in this football game 10-7. Then they reel off 14 straight points, and they do it with the big plays.
And that's something that we didn't think would happen, at least from Southern's perspective. They've been able to methodically go down the field on people and win ball games, not the big plays. You saw the big play by Ryan Lewis running 69 yards, the nice throw by Terrence Levy. This is something that I don't think Jackson State thought they would see in Southern either, and they go into halftime down by 7 points.
Jackson State came in the best defense out of the SWAC. And if you take a look at the highlights, you will see that this club, and I'm talking about Southern, was really able to capitalize on a couple of miscues, and the big plays are the result of it.
And this is Daniel Guy with a nice stiff arm to Bradley Pittman there. And he runs that ball 36 yards inside for a touchdown, makes it 7-3. And then Terrence Levy, quarterbacking, throws a big bomb to Michael Hayes, who gets by Rashard Anderson and waltzes into the end zone for a 69-yard reception. And then the big run by Ryan Lewis, a scat back for Southern, races 69 yards for the score. And that's where it stands right now, 17-10. Southern is on top.
Passing leaders in the conference. Lionel Hayes from Grambling, your top passer. Washington second, but he's intercepted right there. This time the inside handoff,
and the ball was dropped, and Tommy Head.
Here's Taylor in the pocket, looking downfield and looking for Leroy Fields, and this one looks intercepted, and it is.
He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
pass.
It's
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
All right, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show thus far this morning. Had an opportunity to talk to those ladies from Southern University Laboratory School, talking about its rich history. Because you know why? When I first got here and I looked at the school, I was like, what is that little school over there, right? Didn't know that little school made such a big impact on the history of not only Baton Rouge, but especially Southern University. Faculty who worked at the university had kids who went to school there. I realized how important it was for the African-American community. I realized how important it was for everybody. And I had a chance to be a part of it, to go over as they were celebrating. I forgot how many years it was that the school was there, but they were celebrating. And I had an opportunity to sit down, interview, talk to people, coaches, athletes, faculty members, and just really get a chance to do a walk down memory lane on all of the people that were involved. And it gave me a newfound respect for the school, because initially when I got over there and I saw they were talking about championships, and I'm like, a 1A school? What are you talking about? But that 1A school showed me it was more than that. It showed me the competition level and the amount of athletes that have come out of Southern Lab. My God, I mean, it is amazing when you get a chance to sit back and hear about so many people, not only just athletes, the alums. Let's go beyond athletics. Let's just talk about the alums that have come through that school. So it was great to have them come in and be able to give us a walk down memory lane, because she said they are the GOATs. They have records still to this day that are held in many, many different fields. And good morning to everybody out there listening on 107.3 FM. Glad to have you guys here in the Baton Rouge capital city area. I know people are getting up. Hey, some of the bars are opening this morning right now as we get started at 8 a.m. People are moving slow but getting going. I know you're getting your floats together down in New Orleans. They're getting it going. It's been rocking and rolling all weekend, and it's going to rock and roll all the way until Tuesday. And for here in Baton Rouge, Spanish Town today. So I know people are listening as you're up getting ready, headed to the store to get all the essentials that you need for today's survival. Because the name of the game, and I tell people all the time, is hydration. All right? And when I say hydration, I'm talking about get you some Powerades, get you some water. That's how you survive. Let's just talk about Mardi Gras, right? I have to tell you how I had to learn it. And we all learned the hard way if you're not from here and you have to figure it out because for me, it felt like it was such a rush to get here, get there, to turn up, as we say. Back then, y'all may sound, well, for me, it may not be old for my generation, but for Mike listening, we used to say get crunk. You know something about get crunk, Mike? You done been crunk before? You got crunk a little bit? So, I was doing my time in that younger stage. It was like, we got to get crunk right quick. So, that's funny. Now that I'm thinking about it, get crunk is such a thing of the past. Nobody even used that no more. They get lit now. Okay, yeah, we get litty. Okay, all right. But, it just felt like it was a rush to get there and get here. Before you knew it, you wore out. You done walked 18 miles. You done drunk everything you can find. And you start to lose, as I say, the soldiers along the way. Everybody, somebody don't never make it to the end. A lot of them don't make it to the end because it's just too much too fast. And these days, I tell people, listen, slow down. We don't got to walk fast. We're not in a rush to go nowhere. We can do what we're going to do, but we got to make sure we hydrate. Hydrate. That's the name of the game. You can do everything you want to do, but you make sure you eat a good breakfast. That's the key. Eat you a good breakfast, because then for the rest of the day, you can snack on. You're going to walk by here. You're going to go by there. You're going to stop here and there. You can snack along the way, but that breakfast, and I'm talking about, is either something greasy or something just full of bread. Or get you a big old thing or some potatoes, hash browns or something. You need that to start, because there's folks out there listening right now about to get the day started, and I'm putting you on game, which if you didn't know, now you know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But the name of the game, you got to get the day started with some hydration. Water, Powerade, and I'm not talking about take a little sip, because I found out in life a lot of people don't like water. Not enough to drink enough of it throughout the day. That's all I pretty much drink. But you have to get enough water within your system and get you a Powerade. And as you continue to go through the day, because guess what? You're walking and you're doing all of this other extracurricular activity. You know what that leads up to? Dehydration. When you start to feel weak at the knees and I need to sit down for a second, the world's starting to spin, you see spots. That's because you're becoming dehydrated. You can survive and last a long time with some hydration in your body. But when you're young, like I was going to Mardi Gras, I say we was getting crunk. They don't get this lit now, but we trying to get crunk. Listen, and I don't know. I'm not, going to tell you about what all we was drinking, but it was cheap. It was cheap because we couldn't afford nothing. That $20, we stretched that and made it go as far as it can go. And y'all know the one I'm talking about. It started with a T. I shouldn't have to say anything else. It's clear, and it started with a T. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You try to find everything in the world to mix with it to make it survive, to make it taste good. Don't nothing make it taste good. Then you drinking stuff, you mixing stuff in it that's sugary. It started with a T. That's the clue of the day. For my people in the comment sections, it starts with a T and it take you there fast and it's cheap. Tell me what you think it is. And if you're in your car and you listening at home, just yell it out. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. But when it's cheap, when you're young, hey, that $20 gonna get us crunk, get what we say, Mike, gonna get us lit, gonna get us litty. It's gonna take us where we want to go. And you know what? We wasn't drinking no water with it. We was mixing with those sugary drinks and just a history of being able to go down that walk down memory lane, because guess what? It is one, and we all have our stories. How many of you guys have stories going down to New Orleans? And I'm talking about lifelong stories, and I can only imagine the days before cell phones where you lost track of somebody. Now I can text, I can send you my location. Hey, where you at? I'm about to send you my location. Cool. 6 blocks down, 2 blocks to the right, and say we'll be there in 10 minutes if we walk fast. If we lost track of you back then, You just was lost. You was just lost as you went down into the parades and everything else. And it's amazing how we survive now. Just we so handicapped by technology. It makes us look around. It's like, where do we go from here? How do we go from here? And I can't even believe we lived in a time where things were seen like that. Right? No, it's not that one. It starts with a T, but it's cheap. Come on now. You know what I'm talking about. It ends with an A. I can say Aka. That makes sense now? They don't get it. Mike, you know what I'm talking about? No, Mike, you young. Yeah, no, ain't no dang on that. No, I don't be wanting to give out the labels, the name and stuff. They ain't sponsoring me. So but y'all know what I'm talking about for those that's out there. Woo-wee, and it don't taste good with nothing. But happy Mardi Gras to everybody out there, because as I'm talking about it, y'all know what I'm talking about. Am I hitting close to home? Y'all relating to me? Because guess what? We're going to have a good time this weekend. And anywhere else, when I say Monday and Tuesday, nobody does nothing. The rest of the world cannot believe it. I couldn't believe it when I came to Southern. They talking about a Mardi Gras break. What the hell is a Mardi Gras break? You mean to tell me we out of school Monday and Tuesday and I still get a spring break? Because I'm telling you, I didn't go to class Thursday and Friday either. So it was just one hell of a break. I'm telling on myself, but I made sure everything was good. Now, those professors knew better than to try to say they're going to give us that attendance grade. You better be here on Friday. You better be here on Thursday. For what? I don't want to be here. I've been in New Orleans all night. We just got back 6:30 this morning. And I can tell you, we used to make that trip 11:30, 12 in the morning. We had a partner, my partner Trevor. Shout out to my boy Trevor. He had a minivan. The one you push the button and the door slide back. When I say we packed that minivan out and went down to New Orleans in the wee hours of the morning. And then we learned a little thing where we didn't want to drive back after we was off what I was telling you about, start with a T. We learned about the Greyhound. And at the time they had like a bus that went to New Orleans. You pay like $7. So what we would do, we would get on the Greyhound bus. We'd catch the last bus out. I think it was at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Drop you off right there in downtown New Orleans. Made a couple stops. So what? While we was riding, you know what we was doing? We was hydrating. And as we got all the way down, once we got there, then we would get the return bus. I think the first bus, but they say the first thing smoking out in the morning was like a 5:30, 6 o'clock bus. But I learned my lessons over the years with that, man. When I tell you my feet was hurting after them long days, my feet was hurting. We would go post up in hotel lobbies. We were up all night, but everybody has their stories, right? I found out about small town Louisiana Mardi Gras right now, and I hear a lot of stories, right? I used to hear about St. Martinville and all it. For me, small town Louisiana thus far, New Rose, Louisiana. Listen, my God, I like when the whole town, it's almost like homecoming for the town. Everybody who's from there comes back. The memory, man, listen, I had a good time at New Rose. Now I went to Plaquemine. I hear about, what is that place? Mamu. Is it Mamu? Mamu? They say they do it over there. Now you got those other places that's real, that's small. But I like New Rose. If you never been to a New Rose Mardi Gras, listen, they turn up right now. Right now. They've been going. I enjoy it. But and then you got Mobile, Alabama. There's them. Does Mobile really know how to Mardi Gras? And how far up in Louisiana do you go before you say they don't really know how to Mardi Gras anymore? Do you think Monroe, Louisiana knows how to Mardi Gras? What about Alexandria, Louisiana? Do you think they know how to Mardi Gras? Even going over west, does Lake Charles know how to Mardi Gras? Or are we just in this Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and everything around the river from there all the way on down? That's what Mardi Gras. I don't know. Somebody told me if I'm not, I need to be chasing chickens over in Mamu. I saw the chicken thing. You know, I heard the story about, you know, you catch the chicken and that's what you put in the big gumbo. They do chase the chickens. I watched a whole little Mardi Gras special about small town Louisiana. Now, some of them places, let me tell you, Mardi Gras just look a little different for me. It's just, it ain't for Perry White. It may be for some of you listeners out there, you know, but I'm black, so I just put it like that. For some of them places, that don't look like, it look like if I showed up, if I ain't got a mask on, it's like, yeah, what you doing here, boy? I don't want nobody, hey, what you doing here, boy? It don't look lit to me, not the way I want to be lit. I don't even feel comfortable being over there getting lit. Now, for some of y'all, hey, it may be good for you, but for me, I don't want to hear none of that, what you doing here, boy. I don't need that. But I am going to have a good time today. I'm just letting y'all know. If you're watching, I got my beads on if you're watching on the live. So let's get ready to take a break. When we come back on the other side, I'm going to talk some sports because it's time to get basketball. Did you know Southern men and women basketball teams are both #1 in the SWAC? If you did not know and you hang on after the break, I'm going to fill you in and tell you how and what they're dealing with today and what the whole landscape around the conference is looking like. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be back for more of the Jaguar Journal.
Quincy Richard is the quarterback. And Don, this is a man who's really changed his game from last season, and he's a graduate student as well.
Yes, he has, Bob. Quincy Richard has matured into the unquestioned leader of this Southern University offensive attack. 10 wins this season, and he set school marks for passing yards and touchdown passes. And Bobby's had a lot of help. Only 5 sacks on the season.
He earned his undergraduate degree back in August. He's taking some master's classes, and he wants to be a lawyer.
Here's Richard looking in the end zone. Has a man there. Touchdown, Southern University.
Play clock down to 3. Richard gets it off over the middle. Touchdown!
Holmes goes in motion and comes set on a 1st and 10. Richard completes it. That's Ard. Ard down the sideline. He could go. And finally pushed out of bounds. Richard's run for 10 touchdowns this season. He's going to keep it. Richard goes in. Make it 11 for Quincy Richard. Richard wide open. Touchdown, Chris Davis. Oh, does he love playing football even more now?
That in the flag against Grambling, holding on the kickoff.
Richard looking deep, and it's a touchdown.
But only 3 times did he go down. Twice he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It goes down as a sack.
2nd and 8. The deep ball, and that's our man, Chris Davis, for the touchdown. Time for today's State Farm Players of the Game. And from Southern University, the quarterback, number 15, Quincy Richard, 34 of 42, 552 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Quincy, on behalf of State Farm Insurance Companies, I want to present you with a trophy for the most outstanding player today. Congratulations.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the Jaguar Journal. Glad to have everybody out there. I'm Perry White. Good morning to everybody listening here locally in the Baton Rouge capital city area on 107.3 FM. Glad to have you. And everybody watching across the country on our YouTube and Facebook. Glad to have you guys as well, man. Hey, great show this morning. But now let's get into the sports side of it. Let's talk some SWAC basketball. Let's start on the women's side. You know who we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Southern University because how things have changed over the past 2 weeks. Texas Southern came into Baton Rouge 2 weeks ago. 10-0 in conference play, undefeated, looked like they were clear-cut favorites to probably win regular season, but guess what? Southern University put a stop to it. Defeated them, broke the 10-game win streak. Texas Southern then goes on the road that next day, and then to take on Grambling on that Monday, took on Grambling that Saturday. They played Texas Southern. These Thursday, Saturday games have confused me because the guys still play Saturday, Monday. The women's play Thursday, Saturday. Southern women defeated Texas Southern on that Thursday. Then Texas Southern goes on the road to take on Grambling that Saturday and falls short. Now the way things look up, Southern goes on the road to Grambling last week, and it never was close. 70-47 is the final score. Southern University women get the victory, and this is the first time in a while I could probably say Southern women were able to sweep Grambling. Southern's ball game shoots 23 of 51 for 45%. They were 6 of 10 from the three-point line, shooting 60%, and they were 18 of 23 from the free throw line, shooting 78%. A little bit better free throw shooting day than we normally see. And they out-rebounded Grambling, 36 rebounds to 29 rebounds. On the other side for Grambling, they shot 15 of 53, a tough day shooting for 28%. They were 3 of 11 from the three-point line, shooting 27%, and 14 of 25 from the free throw line, shooting 56%. The Jaguars, Southern University women, and Coach Carlos Funches moved on to get the victory. Then here comes the long road trip, right? They took a plane over to Tallahassee, Florida, for a Thursday night showdown that came down literally to the wire. Southern University women pulling it out at the end as time expired, 65-63 over Florida A&M and the Rattlers. In this ball game, Southern University women shot 22 of 56 for 39%. And when I go through this, you'll ask yourself, how the hell did they win this game? For 39%, 9 of 17 from the three-point line, shooting 52%. They were 12 of 18 from the free throw line, shooting 66%. On the other side for the Rattlers and Florida A&M women's basketball, 18 of 41, shooting 43%, 4 of 10 from the three-point line and shooting 40%, and they were 23 of 33 from the free throw line, shooting 69%. Want to hear a crazy stat in this game? Florida A&M women's team, 46 rebounds to Southern's women's team, 19 rebounds. 46 rebounds to 19 rebounds. But Southern was able to get 27 points off of turnovers in this ball game. The largest lead in this game for Florida A&M was 13. For Southern, it was 4. Southern pulls it out and get the victory. Now today, they're still on the road as we get ready to get March. They're taking on Bethune-Cookman. This should be a pretty good game. Southern is a heavy favorite in this one, but we know in this conference you cannot take any game lightly, right? Can't take anything lightly. Now, before I give you the SWAC standings, let's go all the way back to last Thursday, and then we'll work our way to Saturday, and we'll talk about what some of the results were in SWAC women's basketball. Let's go all the way back to Thursday. Texas Southern got back on the right track, 73-59 over UAPB on the women's side. UAPB continues to struggle. Texas Southern gets back on the right track. How about Sandy Pugh picking up a much-needed victory and Prairie View over Mississippi Valley, 57-50. Bethune-Cookman, today's opponent on last Thursday before, defeated Alabama State 56-53. And Alabama A&M in a tough one with our opponent on Thursday, Florida A&M, 70-67. That's Coach Don Thornton, formerly at UAPB, now at Alabama A&M, as they got a 3-point victory over Florida A&M. Let's look at those Saturday matchups. Alabama State took on Florida A&M, a low-scoring game, 48-40. Florida A&M gets the victory. Alcorn State, Jackson State. We know what that rivalry is like. Upset alert. I told y'all a week ago about this Alcorn State team. They're in the middle of the pack in the women's, but they are sneaky good. They can defeat anybody at any given time, and Jackson State had to, what they say, fool around and find out. 64-51. Southern gets the victory, of course, 70-47 over Grambling. Prairie View continued rolling in overtime as they struggled with Pine Bluff, got a 67-65 victory over the Golden Lions over at Prairie View. Alabama A&M kept things rolling against Bethune-Cookman, 70-62, and then Texas Southern kept it rolling as well, 81-72 over Mississippi Valley State on the women's side. And then on Thursday, of course, besides Southern getting a close victory, 2-point victory over Florida A&M, here go that Alcorn State team again, 60-52 over Texas Southern. I'm telling y'all, this team snuck its way into the SWAC tournament last year, upset Southern, and found themselves in a SWAC championship game against Jackson State last year. They just beat Jackson State. They just beat Texas Southern. This team also came into Baton Rouge and beat Southern. This Alcorn State team is a team to watch out for on the women's side. You continuously hear me say it the same way when I get to the men's side, Bethune-Cookman. There's always sneaky teams that when you look at their roster, it's like this team could beat anybody any given day. Alcorn State women's basketball, watch out for them. 60-52 victory over Texas Southern. How about Sandy Pugh? 3 games. All right, Sandy, over at Prairie View. They beat Jackson State. What's happening at Jackson State on the women's side? Don't know. But they're falling apart at the wrong time. 71-63 Prairie View over Jackson State. Then Grambling gets a 71-59 victory over Bethune-Cookman. Matchups around the SWAC today. How about the Magic City on the hardwood? Alabama A&M and Alabama State over in Montgomery today. Tip-off at noon between those two teams. Should be a good one on the women's side. Prairie View and Alcorn. Both teams coming in, riding win streaks. I will circle this one. This is a game to watch between two teams who seem to be heating up at the end of the season. Seeding towards the SWAC tournament could be on the line looking at those two teams. Texas Southern, Jackson State. Texas Southern has been stumbling and bumbling the past 2 weeks. Jackson State kind of just dropping a couple here and there. That's another game to watch here on the women's side in basketball. Southern and Bethune-Cookman. Southern at this point just has to go in, handle business. But we all know when you have those long road trips, as they're all the way over in Daytona Beach today, sometimes that lag of just being on the road can be tough. Grambling, Florida A&M should be a good one. And then one that's not going to be good today, UAPB versus Mississippi Valley. Just not going to be good. You're talking about two teams. We're in March. Two teams put together 7 wins on the season. That's not good at all. All right. So sorry, UAPB. It is what it is. Take it how you take it. All right. Let's look at the SWAC standings starting from the bottom and up. The two teams I told you ain't going to be too good today. Starting at the bottom, UAPB, they're 1-14 in conference play, 3-22 on the season. Mississippi Valley, their opponent today, 3-12 in conference play, 4-22 on the season. Both these teams combined 4 wins in conference play, 26 losses between those two teams. Got to evaluate those programs. Moving up right there, Alabama State at 4-11 in conference play. They're 9 games out of first place. Today's opponent for Southern, Bethune-Cookman on the women's side. They're tied with Prairie View along with Florida A&M. All those teams 6-10 in conference play, 7.5 games out of first place. Here's that sneaky team I keep telling y'all about, Alcorn State. They're just like literally right in the middle of the pack. They're not below 500, but they're just right above 500. At 8-7 in conference play, they're 5 games out of first place. Grambling on the women's side, 9-6 in conference play, 4 games out of first place. Jackson State, who has just kind of dropped a couple here, they're 11-4 in conference play and 2 games out of first place. Alabama A&M. How about the Bulldogs on the women's side with Coach Don Thornton? Remember the word Coach Don Thornton, Coach. That's a tough one when you're talking. Coach Don Thornton did at UAPB. She led UAPB women's basketball team to their first ever SWAC women's championship berth appearance. They fell short to Southern, but nonetheless, what she did for that program. Then she heads over to Alabama A&M this year. In year 1, she has them 19-8 overall and 12-3 in conference play with 1 game out of first place. I continue with this UAPB. How did you let her get away from you to go to Alabama A&M? I get it, A&M facilities, Huntsville, but man, you got to go find some money to keep a coach like that because she's having instant success over at A&M. How about Texas Southern? Hey, it was all different just a week ago. 13-3 now in conference play. They're half a game out of first place. Because you know who in first place? Southern University women's basketball team. 13-2, 15-13 on the season. Texas Southern 14-13 on the season. Alabama A&M 19-8 on the season. And then you have Jackson State 13-13 on the season. These 4 teams right here. Now, I'm not sure about if I had to look at it, Grambling is ahead of Alcorn in the standings, of course, because they won 1 more game than them. But Alcorn State, listen to me. I would not be surprised if they get into the tournament and find themselves back into the SWAC championship. I just simply won't be surprised. They can beat anybody in this conference at any given time. And I have to give them credit because they have shown it. Are they the best team? No, but they can beat anybody at any given time in this conference. They showed it by coming to Baton Rouge and beating Southern, 59-55 in overtime. They showed it by going on the road, beating Jackson State, 64-51. They showed it by being able to beat Texas Southern, 60-52. They are a team to watch out for. I'm just putting y'all on game, because if you look up and see Alcorn State, hey, how did they get here? Alcorn State women's basketball team. And I had a joke last year. I said they coach looked like Pete Richardson. Now, don't nobody go back running telling that, but if y'all saw a picture of him, I thought he was Pete Richardson's little brother. All right, that's my only joke for the day. I'm going to stay off of him because his team win. I don't want that to be bulletin board material if Southern has to end up on that schedule to see them in the SWAC tournament. But Alcorn State is a team to watch out. Shout out to the Jaguars, Southern University women at the top right now. So let's get ready to take a break. I'll come back here on this side. I'm going to give you the rundown on the men's as they've been holding down the entire conference play. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be back more of the Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
Best, and they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
Really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss.
All right, we're back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning and happy Mardi Gras to everybody out there listening, whether you're headed to a parade or just getting in from a ball or whatever the case may be. Hope you guys have enjoyed yourself and continue to enjoy yourself all the way until Tuesday, Fat Tuesday. And for my Catholics out there, make sure you go get your ashes right on Wednesday, if you know what I mean. So everybody out there listening on 107.3 across the Baton Rouge capital city area, good morning to you guys. And everybody listening across the country on our YouTube channel and our Facebook Live. Be able to put down in the comments, put in the chat where you're from, where you're tuning in from this morning, where you're listening, how are you celebrating Mardi Gras? As I know we're doing here in South Louisiana, Spanish Town Parade here in Baton Rouge today. Other parades down in New Orleans today. And Demian, one of the ones that I like, I'll be in New Orleans tomorrow for the Bacchus Parade. So, and then, these parades are festive times. I know people over in New Roads, all across South Louisiana, right? And then, as we call them, the wannabes everywhere else, like Mobile, Alabama. They say they do it the best over there. I ain't been. So, you know what? I can't judge them. So, shout out to Mobile celebrating Mardi Gras as well. I'm not going to do them like that. Let's jump into it, right? We're on the men's side of the SWAC. And let's look at it. Let's start with Southern. Last week, going on the road in a tough one, hostile environment up in Grambling, Louisiana. It's tough anytime Southern and Grambling. I don't care what they do. Flipping coins, rock, paper, scissors, old school, just race me down the street. It's going to be competitive. And in this one, Southern pulled it out 71-64 over Grambling. In this one, the Jaguars on the men's side shoot 26 of 61 for 42%. They were 9 of 17 from the three-point line, shooting 52%, and 10 of 16 from the free throw line, shooting 62%. On the other side, for the Grambling State Tigers, on the men, 20 of 48, shooting 41%. They were 5 of 19 from the three-point line, shooting 26%, and 19 of 22 from the free throw line, shooting 86%. Southern out-rebound Grambling this one, 34-28. Southern's largest lead in this one was 13. On the other side for Grambling, their largest lead was 5, and it continues to work for Southern when you look at how Coach Kevin Johnson, Coach KJ, continues to rotate his bench. Southern has the number 1 scoring bench in the nation. Now we look at today's opponent, Bethune-Cookman. Should be a great one. Now, Southern, I keep telling you, this Reggie Theus Bethune-Cookman ball club is a tough out. They beat us 3 times last year. Once in Daytona, once in Baton Rouge, and once in the SWAC tournament. Southern was able to get past them this year. They had a huge lead, and Bethune-Cookman started to chip away with it late, but Southern was able to hold on and get away from it. Have you seen that gym in Daytona? It's a little bitty compact gym. The fans are on top of you. It is a tough place. Matter of fact, if you ever been in Southern Lab, that's why I feel like you're in Southern Lab's gym. That's what it feels like. And Reggie Theus and that team is a tough out. I talked about Alcorn State on the women's side. On the men's side, for the second consecutive year has been Bethune-Cookman as a team that I'm telling you, if you do not come to play, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats will send you out of that gym or any gym with an L. They are well coached by Reggie Theus. Now, he does not have the depth like many teams, but he has some ball players. I will give them that. Let's look at some games around the SWAC last Saturday. As I told you, Southern was able to get the victory over Grambling. Other games around the conference before I get into games today. How about UAPB getting the victory over Prairie View to go to line 75-64 over the Panthers? UAPB getting a win on the road. Jackson State got a victory at home over their rival Alcorn State, 71-63. Alabama State in a 1-point victory. This Alabama State men's team continues to sneak games by 1 point. They beat Southern by a point, 82-81. They beat Florida A&M 60-59. And I'll tell you about what happened on that Monday. Bethune-Cookman beat Alabama A&M 68-64. And Texas Southern just completely runs past Mississippi Valley 79-38 in that one. That's those Saturday games. Let's go to Monday. Remember that Alabama State team I told you sneaking out 1-point games? Bethune-Cookman snuck out a 2-point game on them. 70-68. Bethune-Cookman on the road up in Montgomery, Alabama against Alabama State. Bethune-Cookman coming into that game today. Going to have to watch them. You're going to have to watch them, Jaguars. You're going to have to watch them. 76-8 over Alabama State. Prairie View got back on track against Mississippi Valley, 64-56. I watched this game on UAPB's YouTube channel against Texas Southern. Man, Texas Southern was hitting from, I watched it on Texas Southern's YouTube channel. Texas Southern was rocking and rolling on all cylinders. This game was never close. 81-56 over the Golden Lions over in Houston, Texas, and then Alabama A&M getting the victory over Florida A&M, 77-66. Let's look at games around the conference today. Prairie View taking on Alcorn State. Should be a good one. Tip off at 3 o'clock. How about Alabama A&M and Alabama State, the Magic City on the hardwood between these two teams? Jackson State and Texas Southern. Want to see a ball game? Circle that one, 3 o'clock today. Tip off. Jackson State is actually the favorite in that one by 4 points. You look at Southern and Bethune-Cookman. Southern is the favorite by 3 points. Should be a close one. Grambling on the road taking on Florida A&M in the game. I'm telling you, on the women's side, you thought you didn't want to watch it. On the men's side, I don't think you really want to watch this one either, except if you're an alum. Mississippi Valley versus UAPB. That tip off at 6 o'clock. UAPB is the favorite by 10. They got to be the biggest of the season for them to be favorite. All right, now let's go to the SWAC standing. Let's start at the bottom. Let's work our way up. I don't understand how Valley and Pine Bluff both are at the bottom on the women's and the men's side. This one, on the women's side, UAPB were at the bottom with Valley above them. And this one, Valley is at the bottom with UAPB right above them. And I'll give you everybody conference record as we go up. Mississippi Valley, 1-14 in conference play. They're all the way out of first place. I shouldn't even tell you how many games. Right above them, the Golden Lions, UAPB, they're 2-13 in conference play. How about Prairie View at 4-11 in conference play? Alabama A&M 6-9 in conference play. Then we look at Grambling, a team who is completely underachieved this year, 6-8. This team, you're talking about a Grambling program who last year won the SWAC basketball tournament, went on to the NCAA tournament, won an NCAA tournament game, their first time ever in school history. Then they come back this year. They're overall 9-18 on the season, 6-8 in conference play, 7 games out of first place. Then right above them, Alcorn State, the Braves, 8-6. Well, my boy G talking about those big bad Braves, 8-6 in conference play, 5 games out of first place. Florida A&M and Alabama State, both two teams tied at 9-6 in conference play, 4.5 games out of first place. Texas Southern is sitting there at 10-5 in conference play, along with Bethune-Cookman. Both teams 10-5, 3.5 games out of first place. Then we have Jackson State, 10-4 in conference play, 3 games out of first place. And then how about Southern University, the Jaguars, rolling on 13-1 in conference play, 18-9 on the season. Remember, Southern has victories over Tulsa and Louisiana Tech in non-conference. They had some close games against some other non-conference opponents, but right now, Southern is the team to beat. Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman. You want to see a ball game today, I'm telling you. You want to watch the Southern versus Bethune-Cookman game today. You also want to watch the Texas Southern versus Jackson State. You have the top 4 teams today going to take on each other. It's going to be some basketball played on the men's side. You want some times? Let me give you some times. Southern Bethune-Cookman going to tip off at 4:30. I believe, as I saw somebody said, the Cat Eye Network, that's Bethune-Cookman. You can go on YouTube and watch it on the Cat Eye Network on YouTube for, the Southern and Bethune-Cookman game at 4:30. Texas Southern and Jackson State, that might be SWAC Digital Network today. I'm not sure if it is. I can imagine, though, because they like to go to Jackson State. Santoria Black and Charles Bishop was on a call last week with SWAC Digital Network up at Grambling. I can imagine they'll probably be at this Texas Southern Jackson State game. I don't see them spending, SWAC sending nobody way to Daytona. That's far, but I can imagine if you want to watch Texas Southern Jackson State, that's going to be on the SWAC Digital Network. All right, let's look at some Monday games, right? Prairie View and Jackson State. What you think about that? Nothing? I don't either. Southern versus Florida A&M on Monday. Grambling versus Bethune-Cookman. And Texas Southern versus Alcorn. That one on Monday should be good as well. Texas Southern versus Alcorn. Alcorn, another one of those teams, just the middle of the pack, can get it done. And last time Southern and FAMU played each other, listen, it was just a straight-up slack and almost a 50-piece for those teams. Let's look back at the last time Southern and Bethune-Cookman played here in Baton Rouge. 69-53 in that ball game. Southern won. Southern shot 26-67, shooting 38% in that ball game. They were 4-17, a tough day shooting threes for 23%, and a tough day at the free throw line where this team continues to struggle. This hurts this team down the stretch, and we saw it against Alabama State, which they lost by 1 point. 13-22 shooting from the free throw line against Bethune-Cookman in his first outing here in Baton Rouge for 59%. On the other side, for Bethune-Cookman, they shot 20 of 59, shooting 33%. They had a tough day shooting from the three-point line as well. 2 of 13 from the three-point line, shooting 15%, and they were 11 of 18 from the free throw line, shooting 61%. That was in game 1. That was Coach Kevin Johnson's first time beating Bethune-Cookman. He went 0-3 last year against Reggie Theus. So far, he's 1-3. Can he inch just that much closer? Because last time these two teams met in Bethune-Cookman over in Daytona, it went into overtime. And that is a tough place to play. So let's see if Southern can get it done today. That's a game I'm telling you. The top 4 teams on the men's side are playing today. Southern and Bethune-Cookman, Texas Southern, Jackson State. You want to tune in and watch these games if you want to watch some good SWAC basketball as we're nearing the end of the season. We're in March. So the SWAC tournament is about to get started. So seeding is on the line. Who can get what they need to get in order to make that road just a little bit better? Because we all know once you get to Atlanta this year, it's not in Birmingham, Atlanta, it's going to be a tough road to get to that NCAA tournament and to hold up that trophy saying that you are the SWAC champion. Let's get ready to take a break, everybody. We'll come back on the other side. We're going to get ready to close things out. We're going to talk about some losses and some other things that have occurred as Southern has been in the news this week. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500 plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket. And his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver Hayes makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable, Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing, nice catch made.
The receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
The backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down and 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet, and Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Good morning to everybody. I am Perry White. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody listening across the Baton Rouge capital city area on 107.3 FM. Glad to have you guys with us and everybody listening across the country on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Now, more serious news. I'm sure you guys have seen this has made national news. It is not a good feeling to talk about it, but a conversation needs to be had as a Southern University student lost his life this week. Caleb Wilson lost his life. 20 years old, a member of the Southern University Human Jukebox Marching Band. He was a junior engineering major, and he was trying to get down, as y'all know what I'm saying. Those who around trying to be a part of Omega Psi Phi, the Beta Sigma chapter right there at Southern University. This within itself is a tough situation. It's not tough to talk about because conversations are being had and it needs to be had. Since this news broke, I have talked to advisors from many Divine Nine across the country. Now, of course, we'll go by, the news story. It says Caleb Wilson became unresponsive at a Breck Park and was later taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. A cause of death is still not known, waiting on information from an autopsy. But it says sources said Williams was involved in the Omega Psi Phi fraternity Beta Sigma chapter at Southern ritual. This was an Omega Psi Phi ritual. Now, the conversation that I want to have, because, I'm not Greek. Plenty of people I know Greek. That don't make it any better for me. But at the end of the day, how far is too far? I get it. I understand. I grew up in this world, okay? So I'm not on the outside looking in. I'm entrenched. No, am I a part of an organization? No, I'm not, but I get it. I've known Greeks my whole life, the organizations. I've known HBCU my whole life. Hell, I thought, I did Kappa League in high school. So that just lets you know, even going all the way back, you understood what the idea of the next level was. But my thought is, seriously, and I just asked the question, how far is too far? I understand you got to go through something to be something. I understand the bond. And I'm talking fraternity and sorority. Because before we get to death, there's been plenty of cases across the country of life-changing injuries, physical injuries, that have completely changed people's lives, which we often overlook the life-changing injuries until we get to this point right here. This one is tough because it hit home so close. I'm talking about it hit home. It couldn't have hit home anymore. You guys know my relationship to Southern. You know my relationship to the band. And most importantly, my relationship to Omega Psi Phi, because my boy Safi. So all the way around, this one hit me. And then I knew this young man who was in the band from New Orleans, Louisiana. But how far is too far? Seriously. Is it too touchy for you? Is it too sensitive of a subject? It could be for some. Some people can look at this and can probably have traumatic thoughts of their time going through their rituals, because that's what we'll just use that word ritual today. But how far is too far for real, man? Because this one hit, this really is tough. I get it, man. I get it. We go through what we have to go through to make us appreciate it, to make us want it, to make us love it. Because there's been many before us who have had to go through things to become what something. I get it. But damn, we're not in this to take each other's lives. We in this to build lives. That's what this thing is about. As the mob say, this thing of ours. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And regardless of what happened, it's how you handle situations. Okay? We all don't know the facts yet. We don't know the complete details. We just know what we've heard. We just know what we've heard. I know everybody's waiting on the autopsy. We're all waiting to hear. It's still how you handle situations. It's how you handle situations. I'm not here to tear anybody down, but I'm here to have an honest conversation. Everybody's going to say, yeah, let's wait. Let's hold up. But we all got to understand it. I'm not here to point a finger and blame game. But I think those of us who understands that world kind of got an idea. Now, what exactly happened, we don't know. And I'm not here to speculate, and I won't. I will just say I'm curious to know how things were handled to be led up before they dropped him off at the hospital. For me, that's where it's going to fall in line. How did the situation handle itself? How did everything lead up to there's a timeline where something seemed like it went wrong up until the point it went wrong, and up until the point there was a point of no return. I want to know how the situation was handled. That's all I want to know. How was the situation handled? Because at some point, somebody realized something wasn't right. But I just hope that this is a wake-up call. Because we know a lot of people, we know sometimes people go beyond the organization and make it about themselves. You want to be the name. And what they call made in paper. Get it. Totally understand it. I just think now this is going to cause us to have this conversation openly. These are conversations we never truly had in the public. This conversation you had amongst those people, amongst each other. But you never want to get a call as a parent knowing you sent your child off to college, not the hood, not to prison, but to college, and you get this damn phone call saying, hey, you lost them. And that's all I have on it. Now, as the week goes on, we get more information. We'll talk more on it. Sean Wallace was laid to rest yesterday as well. You know, our thoughts and prayers with his family, but most importantly, you know, our thoughts and prayers with the family of Caleb Wilson, 20-year-old engineering major from New Orleans, Louisiana. We'll find out more about it, and I'll speak more about this next week as we're going to have an honest conversation. If you guys want to keep up with us here at the Jaguar Journal, you can go on our Apple Podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as YouTube. Just type in the Jaguar Journal. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as Instagram at the Jaguar Journal _. And of course, if you can find us on Facebook, simply at the Jaguar Journal. We have the description in all of them. The link in the description in the link. It's a link to Linktree and all of them. That's just tongue-tie me up, Mike. You can go check that out. Hey, we're talking about Mike. Mike said if you need a car, holler at him. Mike over there at Team Honda, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, whatever you're looking for all your future car and truck needs. Mike, you need to get them to be a sponsor of this show. You're trying. You better tell them to give us a call. We need them to be a sponsor. Let's work hand in hand with them, Mike. We can really be giving you some pub, okay? Because I had read that. I said, wait, hold on. They ain't even cut us no check. But because it's my boy Mike, man, y'all go holler at my boy Mike if you need anything. Mike over there getting up. You got your taxes. I know y'all guys, it's hot. Them kids need a car. They tell you, I know you're sick of dropping them off. Go over there and get them a Toyota, a Honda, or a Mazda. Mike will get you straight. You going to get them a good deal, Mike? Mike said, of course, he's going to work with you. And for everybody out there listening, happy Mardi Gras. Be safe out there this weekend, no matter where you at, whether it's small town, big city, it does not matter. Be safe out there. It is the Mardi Gras time of the year. You hear him? I got my bees. I'm ready. And for everybody here in Baton Rouge, Spanish Town today, people down in New Orleans, I'll be in New Orleans tomorrow for the Bacchus Parade and maybe Tuesday for Zulu and whatever it do not drink and drive. Call or Uber, call a friend, call somebody. Leave that car where it's at and put those keys up this weekend, okay? So for everybody out there, as always, man, I love you. I hope you guys have and enjoy a safe weekend, and I'll be back next week at the same time, the same place. As always, it's the Jaguar Journal. Have a good weekend. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.